Hi, time for a little core workout, build strength. Yeah, get a bit of heat going, whatever you want to call it. Okay, I'm going to use my block. You could use just a rolled up towel if you didn't have a block at home. It's just to add a little bit extra. You don't even need anything if you don't wish to use anything. So we'll start seated, either legs forward or legs crossed, sitting tall, and just start with breath, thinking about our centre as we breathe. So in and out through the nose if you can, and allowing an expansion to happen as you breathe in, and thinking about that contraction, contracting through the side of the ribs, belly coming back, and at the end of your exhale, the pelvic floor kind of knits together and lifts as the diaphragm lifts from the bottom. Okay, so when you're ready, allow your shoulders to soften and take a nice, deep, long inhale. And exhale everything out. And again, inhale through the nose. Allow yourself to expand. And exhale everything out, focusing at the end of the exhale on that drawing back and lift. Inhale. Allow everything to expand and soften. And exhale, drawing back and lift. And again, inhale. And exhale fully. And one more. Inhale. And exhale everything out. Everything draws into the center. Okay, from here we're going to come on to, we're going to bring our legs forward, not come on to anything, stay on our bottom. You can hold on to the back of the legs, onto the shins if you wish, and we'll start to move a little bit through the spine. Legs are hip width apart. I'm going to sit up onto the sit bones, inhale, lift. Exhale, drawing everything back and down and rolling back, holding on to the legs if you wish. Inhale, lift, exhale, drawing everything back. And again, inhale, lifting forward up onto the sit bones, sitting tall, shoulders released down the back. Exhale, rolling back, chin to chest. Inhale, lifting up. We're still holding on. Exhale, rolling back with a reach forward. Try not to swing too much. Make this a controlled movement. Inhale, exhale, releasing back. So this time, possibly place the block or towel between the knees and give it a squeeze, lift, rolling back and hold. Inhale, lifting up. Hold for a breath. Not the breath, just the pose. And exhale, rolling it back. Inhale, squeezing up. Exhale, rolling back. Thinking about that squeezing down. The block could be between the hands. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, picking your level that you wish to work at. And exhaling back. Put your block down if you're using it, cross the legs and rolling forward over onto hands and knees. Starting with our cat-cow. Inhale, extend, expand through the front of the spine, extend, what do you want to call it? Inhale, extension, exhale, flexion. Inhale, creating length in the spine at the front of the body, lifting the sit bones up. Exhale, rounding the back and scooping the pelvis under. So moving through the pelvis as well as the length of the spine. Drawing the tummy and ribs back and up as you roll into the cat shape. And last one. Holding into this rounded back, chin to chest, squeezing everything into the center, and then allowing yourself to sit down towards the heels, head drops between the arms. Maybe you're reaching a bit further forward and resting the head to the mat. Your choice. From here, coming forward, back onto the hands and knees. This time we're going to extend through our tabletop. So keeping control, reaching back with the right leg, tummy still drawing in, left hand is forward and reach up and away. Try not to take this into the back, make it a reach from the hip and the shoulder. And then we're going to squeeze elbow and knee together and lift into the center. Inhale, extend. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Inhale, extend, keeping nice and stable. Exhale, squeeze, and then lift round in the back a little bit. One more. And into the other side after this squeeze and release. Extending right hand forward, left foot back. Lift, exhale, squeeze into the center and lift. Controlled movement as much as possible. Try not to throw forward and back. Lifting in the center, round in the back slightly as you go. Nice, steady, slow movement. And release. This time we're going to extend forward for a extended puppy. Reaching the hands forward, pressing into the palms. Head rests towards the floor. Maybe it comes to touch, sending the hips as far back as you can. So stay there, or maybe reach the hands a little further forward. Bring the chest towards the mat, chin towards the mat, and allowing a little bit of a back bend. Coming back up onto the hands and knees. And this time we're going to tuck the toes and reach the hips back and up for downward facing dog. So first down dog. First, it's possibly the only one. If you wish, you can make this about getting a little bit of movement into the legs and the hips. Or maybe you're going to think about drawing the ribs back, drawing the tummy back and sending the hips nice and high. Keeping length in the back as much as possible. So bring the left foot closer to the middle of your mat and then reaching the right leg back and up. And the same controlled lift that we did in the tabletop position. Turn the hip open this time and bring the heel towards the opposite hip. Try not to twist too much in your shoulder, but you will. Reaching it back and placing it down next to the left foot. Okay, left foot sweeping back and up. Reaching back through the heel as much as possible. Turning the pelvis open. And maybe bring the heel towards the opposite hip. Thinking about the knee reaching high. Square into the center again and placing it down. Okay, from here, coming forward into high plank. Keeping the tummy drawn in, pelvis slightly tucked. So we're in our very strong high plank position. You could be on the knees, just the same. So from here, thinking about squeezing the hips forward so that there's less space between your ribs and your hips. You could still be in your high plank here. Come to the knees and reach back into a child's pose again. So we're going to go for the similar pull in of the knees as we just did in the tabletop, this time from our plank position. So staying on the knees if that works better for you. Toes tucked is a little bit steadier. Or coming into high plank and thinking about the squeeze in of the tummy and lift as you bring the right knee in. Swapping sides and left knee in. Slow and controlled. No flapping about. So each side, breathing well. Inhale, exhale, squeeze and lift. Inhale, exhale, squeeze and lift. Squeeze and lift. One more to each side. And then from here, with control, place the knees down or chaturanga all the way down without placing the knees down. Inhale, extend through the front of the body. Exhale, back onto the knees and reaching back for a little child's pose again. So if you find planks, kind of hard work on your hands and your shoulders, you're not alone. It's hard work. Okay, coming forward again. We're going to speed up a little bit. Things are going to get a bit more intense. So beware. I might not be able to speak. Inhale, exhale, squeeze. And placing it down. Inhale, exhale, squeeze, opposite leg in. Again. Again. Two more to each side. So we have speeded it up, but still with control. Placing it down and taking a rest through the shoulders. Okay, so this time we're going to come to the outside, coming back up onto the hands and knees. And as you come forward, it's not hands and knees, I'm on my toes. We're going to bring the knee out into the outside of the arm. Squeeze. 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 Still with control, not bobbing up and down too much. One more to each side. And release. Breathing and exercising at the same time, don't always work for me. So we have one last little plank version that we're going to do, and it's still with this contraction through the center of the body. We're going to squeeze knee to the center and bring it to the opposite elbow to touch. So we're getting a twist. Inhale, exhale, across. In and across. Squeeze in and across. One more to each side. In, across. In and across. And release it back. And this time, you're going to come onto your hands and knees. We're going to give the arms and the elbows and the wrists a little bit of a rest. So bringing hands into the waist, fingertips pointing behind, and pull the elbows back. So just as much as we're working our core, those planks do work the hands. Okay, come in to sit. So carefully cross the feet and sit down. So we're going to continue very similar shape to as before. If you wish, you can go with a block between the legs again and think about starting with the same shape as we did, lifting up and lowering back, and give this a squeeze and hold. And then from here, we're going to do the same again, so you can either do this with the block or without. We're going to come into a version of our boat, squeeze in here, reaching forward and hold. But this is a little bit rounder than we would normally do. And release, taking the block out, taking the soles of the feet together, and give it a little shake. So from here, coming back into our starting of our boat shape, you can reach the arms forward, you can keep them on the back of the legs, and we're going to go for straightening one leg and place it down, and then the other, and then both together. Or stick with the one at a time. 1, 2, and both. So this is creating a little bit of stability as well as, yeah, getting us ready for the next stage. So again, if you wished, you could have the fingers to the floor. Try not to take too much weight. They're there just to add a little assistance. Maybe one, maybe two together. Placing the feet together, lift the spine, roll the shoulders down, maybe bring the chest forward and look up. And release. Okay. Next version. We're going to lower down with control, using the hands behind you if you wish, and come all the way down to the mat. And we're going to start by taking the knees into the chest and allowing yourself to roll ever so slightly on your lower back. What I want you to think about here is keeping the pelvis tilted so that your lower back is fully flat on the floor. There'll come a point when you're moving the legs that it feels like popping up. That's when you've gone too far. Stay with the point that the back's on the mat. So, thinking about keeping everything squeezed in, making this nice tight partial, and bringing the shoulders up towards the knees. Tummy's drawn in, pelvic floor engaged, lower back pushing down into the mat. And then for this first version or a way to do, we're going to reach the opposite leg forward, keeping one leg tucked in, and we're going to go for swaps. Okay, so keeping all this, rather than letting it all bunch up, push it down into the mat. If it feels better for you to have your shoulders down in the mat, you can go ahead and do that. And we're going to switch. So I'm breathing nice and even here. Inhale, exhale to switch. If you feel a little bit stronger, you don't have to hold on. But think about squeezing this down and in as you come into the body. Two more to each side. Can't count. Again, with the other movements, I'm keeping these nice and slow. You could make them a bit faster, but if they're too fast, sometimes you don't get the strength building from them. And release it down. Feet are wide, knees come together, and just allow yourself to relax a moment. And then possibly you'll notice that the back comes off the floor, and that's what we're looking to control in each of these movements. So you maybe see that my back pops up if I just relax fully, but then as I draw everything in, the back comes down. Try and keep that. Okay, squeezing everything in again. Thinking shoulders, head towards the knees. And this time, we're going to bring the legs up towards the ceiling. So it might not be that you can bring the legs fully straight. Yeah, that's okay. But think about this all jamming down into the floor, possibly reaching past the legs and hold. Or you're reaching up. If we're here, you can even add in a little bit of arm movement. And release. Feet back to the floor, knees towards each other, give it a little wiggle. Okay, coming up again. Reaching up, reaching the legs up, and you're going to reach towards your toes and come back down and reach up and reach down. Reaching up, everything's drawing in and down, and lower, up, lower. Inhale, exhale, lift. So it's an exhale in our exertion as we lift up. If you find this pulls on your neck a little bit, support the back of the head with the hands, but don't make this about the elbows pulling forward. It's a support of the weight. and drawing everything into the center again and giving it a little rest. Okay, from here we're going to come back to sit. So carefully bringing the knees in and rocking it up. So we're going to go from our boat into a hollow dish shape. Yeah, be careful how this feels in the body. If it's not working for you at the moment, we can build up to it another time. Okay, so coming into our dish. So tell you what, we'll do it this way. Reach one leg forward, holding one in, holding the balance, and squeeze it back in. So you could be doing this supported, so it's a reach forward, very similar to what we've just done, but we're now going for the balance as well. Those of you with a little bit more control already, reaching both legs forward and bringing them back in. So you could be holding on as you reach and bring it in. Reach, bring it in. So when you can take this a bit further, we're going to lower all the way down, draw it in, lower, draw it in. So again, you'll hear my breath. Big inhale, exhale, squeeze. Exhale, squeeze. So you could still be on one leg, that's okay. Build the strength up. Thing with our abdominal movements, yeah, if we go too far too quick, yeah, we don't get the benefit of them. Reaching your chest forward, taking a big breath there, and release it down. Okay, coming back down, and this time we're going to come down slowly, reaching the legs out and hold into the dish for a little while. So again, make sure your back's on the floor. So that might mean that your dish is here, knees bent, lower back on the floor, reaching the legs forward, reaching the arms forward. Because when you get to a point that as you lower, the back pops up, that's your staying point. So mine's about here today. And draw it in. And give it a little circle one way with the knees, circle the other way. Okay, last little thing I want to do for this in here is reaching the legs up. And this time when we reach the toes, we're going to reach up and then over to one side. So we're reaching up and then down to the side. Reaching up and down to the side. Up. So this could be done with the knees bent. To here. To here. You could do this with the hands behind the head, taking the twist, so elbow to knee. And then to move this maybe a little further, it's like a bicycle. So if you've ever done a bicycle type movement in class, in any exercise class, just be aware that your back is still on the floor as you go. And release. Knees together, feet wide. Allow yourself to rock side to side a little bit. Have a little shimmy while you're lying down. And then this time we're going to take a little twist to one side, bringing the right knee into the center, allowing a bit of space across the front of the tummy and going the other way. Again, bringing the knee towards the mat so you get that stretch through the front of the abdominals. So, carefully coming over onto your side or rolling up to sit. And whatever you go on to do, yeah, make sure you have a good day.